What's up, Army? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
I'm Keith.
And I'm Curtis.
You know the vibes. Y'all seen the thumbnail. Y'all seen the picture. BTS, Paradise. This was another one that they've been requesting since, we jumped in the Love Maze and a lot of other B-sides and stuff. I guess this is a highly requested B-side. Y'all know the whole spill. If this your first time here, definitely subscribe. Also, check out the Patreon. All the live performances, dance practices, and everything that y'all asked for on there. With runs, with Rise of Bang Tang episodes on there. The last couple episodes been crazy. Y'all want to check that out. And we will continue to give YouTube decent content. I don't want to hear anybody say this ain't the real reactions. We bust our ass and give y'all everything when we do all these reactions. Keep that same energy. Let's jump right into it.
Got you. Okay. Who's doing the riff though? Figured. Right into it. 너의 dream 사실은 짐 미래만 있고 미라면 내가 어젯밤쯤 돼서 꾼 건 뭐 꿈의 이름이 달라도 괜찮아 탄탄한 노트북 사는 거 아니면 그냥 먹고 자는 거 것도 안 하는데 돈이 많은 거 꿈이 뭐가 작은 거라고 그냥 아무나 되라고 We deserve a life 뭐가 큰 건 작건 그냥 너는 너잖아 진짜 세상에 약속과는 달라 우리 달려야 해 봐봐야 해 no time to stop 너무 적지
That back vocal crazy.
You downloaded this? 꿈을 꾸는 게 때론 무섭네 그냥 이렇게 살아가는 게 살아남는 게 이게 나에게 작은 꿈이 돼 꿈을 꾸는 게 꿈을 주는 게 숨을 쉬는 게 때론 버겁네 누군 이렇게 누군 저렇게 생각하면서 세상은 내게 욕을 퍼붓네 세상은 욕할 자격이 없네 꿈은 꿈이 무엇인지 가르쳐준 적 없기에 꿈은 내 꿈이기에 노래 장군대 안녕에서 겹보내 너를
Oh my god.
Okay.
They all snap.
Well, the air you breathe out is already paradise. I hear one. No cap. This up there with Love Maze.
Yeah.
That's really
this up here with Pied Piper.
Really
Because I like Pied Piper over Love Maze. That's me.
I still got them in like a trilogy of like, the way they sound like there's a synergy to them. Like they feel like they all really do go together.
This was right in there. Obviously, I know how I feel about Jim, and he was kind of doing a little sing bop rap, kind of like it felt kind of like boppy, but now every single person on here carried the whole rap line carried. I love the switch ups and like taking turns with the choruses as far as JK, V, Jimin, and Jen. This is a bop. This was
is it weird that I wanted
Sugar and Hope's like rap line verses to be a little longer because you know how Sugar hit the switch.
Yeah,
it sounded like he was about to hit the switch, and Hope was like, "Nah, I gotta go." And then, but Hope killed it though, and I wanted to hear more of Hope, and especially after tonight, I have a newfound appreciation for J Hope. He's no longer just the third guy in the rap line, or he's J fucking Hope. You know what I mean? So. I definitely wanted to hear more of that, especially on that cadence he was hitting at the end. It was nasty.
Yeah.
It was a good joint. Like it's just, and I hate when I don't want us to like keep overusing the word like nostalgic, but like it's just some of this music definitely puts you in
the snares was like what 2097 Timberland type joint.
Yeah, so it definitely puts like this put me in a certain like mindset and space, and then it's just the.
Or the basement, as Lo would like to say.
Yeah, I just love some of like the cadences on here, especially during the chorus. Like just that whole, it was really a mood. That shit was a bop. I fuck with this joint. It's down.
Yeah, this is good.
It's a good joint. I want to hear the live now.
I can't wait to download this.
Here's the thing, like, and we spoke about this before. I got a K-pop list. But I might have to make a separate K-pop list for just like BTS shit because I can't put them with everybody else. It just won't work.
You're gonna scroll like 97 down and try to find it.
well, that too, and so they can make a bop, and somebody else can make a bop, and it still won't sound the same.
Yeah.
It still won't come off the same. It's still a different vibe, and they gotta have their own list. They got to. I got to take all the other shit off the list. I just got to make my own list. It's too much work.
Kurt, did you go?
Nah, they really snapped in this. As you said, everyone brought something unique to the table. I love the layering of the vocals, especially. I love the rap line. I thought the rap line really snapped in this as well. Definitely Suge and Hope with the flow and cadence and the way they kind of did each. It felt like they split a 16 almost, but it felt like it was like they almost were writing together almost because the way they carried off of each other, like it really felt like they were like, in synergy with each other, and the bars were really hard hitting too. I do admit I was a little taken back in a good way though of the song being called Paradise. I'm expecting everything about reaching your dreams and all those kind of things, and they do that, but they kind of subvert it, flip it on its head a little bit, where they talk about essentially like, listen, like breathing, you have air in your lungs right now, you're in paradise.
You're in paradise.
Every breath that I thought it was going to be different too.
Every breath
I thought it was going to be like being in love with you is paradise.
I
thought we were going to hit that.
I could absolutely see that.
And they were like, fuck you, hold my beer, we're going to do something completely different.
Yeah. I don't know, I definitely took it as like stop looking at your cup half empty,
right?
Look at it half full.
Be grateful for what you have.
The whole stop running from nothing, my friend. Like, don't stress over nothing that ain't even.
I didn't want to, I'm not going to make it like super deep or anything like that. But
I think it kind of could be.
No, it could be. It's just, we could go on like a whole thing about that. But basically, like I love,
Blue pill.
Everyone talks about,
actually it's red.
It's hard to be happy, in times that, you can't really like, like you're not forcing happiness on you, or you're not faking a smile necessarily, but you're kind of smiling about things that you may not have realized or may not have appreciated. You know what I mean? Like the simplest of things, like if you, hurt your back or something, and then you're like, just sitting a certain way might hurt, or walking might hurt. And then that pain goes away, you can kind of get conditioned almost to kind of feeling normal. And, you don't appreciate necessarily like, damn, I woke up today. I was able to walk, I was able to breathe. I was able to see things like, nature and all. It's just, you kind of shape your mind a certain way. And I know that that's subjective.
That's how I weirdly.
I was just about to say.
That's how I weirdly. I like a little bit more details about me. I weirdly get out of funks by sometimes like I pray to God, but outside of that, I'll just be like, yo, I have the ability to walk. I have both my arms. I still have family. I have a roof over my head. I can eat. I'm not stressed about certain things. Maybe let me chill out and not overthink because I'm a super overthinker.
I can't break out of that.
I have to mentally try to do things to stop my overthinking.
So when I'm in that funk though, I write, and that's what I do. I project overthinking on the stuff.
I used to write a lot but it wouldn't be like
Yeah.
obviously it wouldn't be a script. It'd be like poetry or whatever.
Of course.
But I like lately it's been music, or I'll dumb down by putting on a video game where I can just kind of zone out and switch my focus, or it'll be something to where I'm occupied, or hell, it'll even be like FaceTime and Nick or FaceTime and Dell, just like to talk to somebody, just to get somebody else's voice, and I'll be going through a lot of shit, and I do this sometimes with other people. I'm not gonna put their business out there, but I'll hit them up every once a week and be like, how are you? And I want to hear what's going on with them to take my focus off of me.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't want to think about what I'm going through. I'm going through fucking enough.
Yeah.
I want to hear about you. And if I can help you out, I'll help you out. You don't need to know what's going on with me.
Being
I don't want to talk
therapist
about
friend,
it.
like,
Right, right. As a deflector.
Yeah.
But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
And it's wild too with all that, just because, especially people that's on the Patreon when they watch like our Roz episode, how emotional, we were, and basically how much we poured ourselves out and everything like that, and just their comments, reading the whole. I'm not sure if y'all called them the whole BTS finds you when you need to be found almost, and just the whole being able to kind of dive in their music because. I'm not going to turn this into a long tangent, but it definitely was a time where not so much music strayed away from suicidal thoughts, depression, and all those type of things. Because I'm pretty sure anybody, it's a music head that can be like, no, actually in the 90s or 2000s, these songs were here. They just weren't major hits, or people strayed away from.
Or they weren't in the genre that you fucked with. So like Collective Soul, Collective Soul had the song "The World I Know," and it was a suicide song pretty much. And it was so fucking great. It had the violin and everything. But if you don't listen to that type of music, you would have never heard it. Just Wait by Blues Traveler. Amazing song. So deep in the lyrics. But if you don't listen to that genre of music, you'd have never heard it.
Yeah. And now, so, to jump back into, that you'll hear stuff from like Juice WRLD, like I said, with the whole Lucid Dreams. And it's just like, bro wrote that when he was 16 years old. Yeah. You hear those lyrics and it's just like that's not lyrics from someone that you think is 16. Why do you have this much soul? Why do you have this much hurt?
Why are you going through so much
right now at the time?
Life as a shorty shouldn't be so rough.
Dog. So I guess it feels good because we say BTS has music that you can dive into in any mood that you're into. Just some of the moods that they're able to put you in are just you able to kind of hear a track and you can almost hear some of these tracks and like kind of cry with them almost if you just wanted to, or just you can hear some of these tracks and just want to be better and turn up. But it's wild the emotions that you feel with some of these tracks. They got a song for whatever mood that you're in, something to get you out of a funk. Just think about that too. I don't want to turn this into like a tangent.
No, go. I mean,
the debut with them was 2012. Regardless, it's 2022. Let's say they have a decade of music.
Right.
I think we've reacted to 100 and something songs easily. We easily reacted to 100 and something songs. It's getting to a point where I may not have listened to no one more than them. And at this point, with y'all, it's been a fast time too. Like, you know what I mean? So it's
4 months.
I would really have to think about what artists I've listened to at this point more than them. Yeah. And what's even more scary is that I feel like we're not even halfway through anything.
I'm gonna tell you what's crazy.
Close, I don't feel
we started doing our reactions, in July?
August.
Well, we didn't release till August, but we didn't release. We were sitting on some stuff for like about a month.
July.
We were sitting on some stuff for about a month before we actually released it. And you know how Spotify and iTunes does the end of year rap? They were like number 2. And we didn't start reacting to them until July.
Yeah, great point.
Like, you know how much fucking shit I was listening to before then, and then for them to be catapulted to number 2? Yeah. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Even thing I was just gonna say was basically, I love how they touch on the lyrics at the very beginning. It's like basically like, listen, it's a marathon. You know what I mean? Go slow, kind of, take a breath. In other words, anytime you're overwhelmed, taking you from that high state to that paradise, like just that cool, relaxed kind of, you're at inner peace. It was a beautiful, beautifully told story as well. But just like you can almost separate the message and the audibility, like just how pleasant sounding the song is with how they harmonize and the cadences and the flows and the rap and everything like that. But their messages with every single song are so impactful and so deep. Like,
bro, I'm sitting there reading the lyrics again while you're just saying that.
It's like, it's so impactful, but it's also like,
it's all right to not have any dreams. It's all right just
to
stop.
Like,
it's all right.
People, I mean, we were even talking like that, just about like, what do you want to do in your life and everything like that. And just even lyrics like that, where it's like, listen, just like, it's okay to not have those things figured out. This is a marathon, it doesn't have to be figured out right now. And it's hard, but it's also, you feel like they're there for you.
Has no right to bash you.
Yeah.
You know what this sounds like? It sounds like you're talking to somebody, and maybe they flunked out of school, or maybe they're having a hard time in school, and you just sitting across from them, just telling them, it's okay, no matter what you're going through, it's fine. If you don't know what you want to be when you get out, that's fine. You'll find your way. You'll fall into your place. There's no need to worry about anything that's going to happen, because the fact that you can wake up and breathe and have life and have these little things that people take for granted, me, myself, are one of those people. You have everything you need. You have paradise. And I, like, when Nick brought it up earlier, I wanted to say, well, I'm one of those people that hate the thought process of, oh, don't worry about whatever you're going through. You're still breathing. You still have life. Yeah, but I'm still fucking stressed. And it's all relative. It's like, well, I'm hungry. Well, people in Africa are hungry. And I'm sorry for them, but I am hungry.
I used to be that person too, dog.
It's apples to oranges, but I understand what you're saying.
I heavily used to be that person too, like the people in Africa or whatever. It took me falling into depression, into my folks being depressed, for me to kind of stop talking
to see
like
what
that.
you look like to other people, and like, okay, I think
we all hate those kind of people too. Like, if it was a death in the family or somebody like, I remember when my dad, you'd be like, it's not fucking about you.
Yeah, no, that's a whole thing.
Like when me and my ex broke up in that whole situation, and I had to leave, like, oh well, and I'm like, well, and I felt really bad about not being there for not being there, but not living in the same house, because we have such a connection, such a synergy. Like, she's literally my twin.
Yeah.
And I felt bad because I was no longer living with her. And to me, that was a bad father. And it was like, well, I didn't have my dad. I don't give a fuck what you did or did not have. I don't care how you turned out because of it.
And that's
I
the thing
don't.
that's really
and I don't want to be an ass,
especially with
but
mental,
I don't, because this is still what I'm dealing with. This is my situation. This is my kid.
That's definitely the worst thing about mental health, I'll say, is just basically like when people kind of try to turn it into, like, it's an attempt to empathize for the most part, or it seems as though it is, but what it comes across as oftentimes is kind of,
look at me,
had it worse.
Look at me, or we're having a pissing contest.
Yeah, like a pissing contest about who had it worse. And basically, my answer to that is just simply, like
there's a way to do it.
Yeah,
there's a way to do it, and there's a way to kind of, like, I hear you, I feel you, but this is from my experience, how I felt when I was going through it. Maybe you can take something from it or not. Yeah. But to just say, oh well, so it sounds like you're disregarding everything I'm saying, and you just want to put yourself.
Communication is key. I think it's definitely like wording and everything. Because like I said, when you would hate to kind of, first off, I think if someone is like venting to you, you should let them vent.
Yeah.
And then proceed to talk about things.
If
like
it
you
fits.
said, if it fits. The whole wording thing is very big to me. Like the whole like, yo, not to compare, but if you want some advice, I've been in this situation before, and this is what I've done from it. I'm not saying that's what you should do, but if that story helped you, then hopefully it'll be. It's all about the wording and context. Like you said, Chris, sometimes you could tell when people don't give a fuck and they just want to throw in they're
listening to respond, or they're listening to react, not listening to respond.
Yeah, and that's why oftentimes I preface just just listening, just hearing someone out, and you often hear that as the phrase, like, you know, like just being there for someone. Sometimes you don't even necessarily have to. They just need to get it out of their system, and just, you know. And you're
like
not
that Rise episode.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Said, sometimes,
well, it can be a lot of things like anger. So like honestly, I get angry at everything. Everything pisses me off. Everything. Like everything. No, I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
I think I was like 35 and I bought a heavy bag. You know why? Because I got tired of punching holes in the wall.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
I got tired of fixing that shit. I was running out of. I could have built a house with all the spackle and shit I used.
Yeah.
But you got to find different outlets. You got to find different ways. And I was never the one to talk to anybody about how I felt.
Yeah, channeling that in the physical exercise in any kind of way is just, you know, a great outlet.
So to like to be able to have that different outlet, you know what I mean? To be able to manifest in a different way, even if it is talking to somebody. And like I've gotten in arguments with people, and then the next day, they still hold on to it. I'm cool because I was able to get it off my chest. Half the time I don't even remember what I said. But it works out that way sometimes, and it not always a good thing, but it's not always a bad thing. But like I always and in most of the conversations we had, if it's me giving advice, I always set a prerequisite. This is just what I went through, and I only can speak on what I went through. In fact, you know what I mean. I can't say, well, this is how you should act. This is how you should act, and I've never been through it. I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you how to treat somebody that you lost, but I've never lost anybody. But what I can say is when I lost my grandfather, you know, I went through this, and this. But also when I lost my aunt, who I was closer to, blah, 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 I went through this, and this. So you can take from that what you need. But it's hard to listen to somebody who's never been through nothing.
Yeah, it's a tricky line to walk
without sounding like they're trying to shift it. It's
I
eggshell.
go
It's all
through that a
eggshells.
lot. Just because, you know, I always try to engage with mental health as best I can. You know, helping out people, anything, you know, I can do. I always try to, you know, be there for people. But I guess the thing that I'm really taking away from this, especially, is the way. I mean, maybe like I'm weird or whatever, but the way I kind of look at things.
I think
is
we're all
like,
weird.
Like if your mind. As an analogy, like if your mind,
Cheshire cat.
If your mind is a garden, you know, negativity is going to be weeds. It's going to be things that grow and sprout naturally that have to be plucked and addressed. Positivity is more of a seed that you have to plant to grow into a flower. It needs the proper sunlight. It needs the proper soil, the proper water, and you're able to kind of manifest your own proverbial garden in your mind by doing that and paying attention to the negative thoughts and not letting them kind of supersede you. No pun intended, but it's just like I kind of look at things that way, and it helps a lot because you can address when something's manifesting, and there's a difference because that is the proverbial paradise, but you're not saying be happy or you're not telling anyone you have to be happy and do these things. It's just more so cleansing your mind of the negativity as best you can.
I'll say that's hard too.
It's crazy. My fault.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's crazy to use that analogy because we just had like a conversation like that in the group chat. I am very much a person, especially now, where it's just like if energy is weird or if things are off or I feel it's tension or anything else, I'm very straightforward. And I I guess because it could come off bossy sometimes, but I'm very much like I'd rather handle a situation on day 1 than a situation on day 99.
When it's fester.
Because I don't even like for things to fester, for things just to kind of like brew up. So like you said, almost like with emotions, with anything in my life, I always tend to just try to pluck the weed before it fucks the garden up or does anything else and stuff.
Exactly.
Which sometimes could be drawing. Like I said, because sometimes you may start issues that weren't there, or you may just do stuff. But it's funny, like I said, you use that analogy. I'm just very much on that type time. So yes.
No,
nice team.
Shit, what was I gonna say?
I was talking about the weed, the garden.
Yeah.
It's difficult, right? So it took so long for me to realize. So my family name is Hawk, and due to anger issues, you kind of get why, because I'm cool, calm until I'm not. Then I'm not. Then everybody got a problem. But it took so long for me to be comfortable not being that.
Yeah.
So somebody told me one time, you don't express no emotion, The only emotion you ever express is anger. And I was comfortable in that. Like I told you, like, I think it came up in the group chat when I'm depressed. It manifests as in anger. When I'm upset, manifests as in anger. When I'm sad, manifests as in anger. So I was comfortable being angry, but when you gotta grow up and you can't be the guy that you can't be like, at an age punching holes in the wall. Like, come on, dog. What are we doing? That's like you putting the middle finger up in every picture. When the fuck do you grow out of that shit? It's out of your comfort level. So now you actively have to tend your garden. Anytime something comes up like that, like, all right, that shit's got to be pulled, but I don't know what to do once I pull it.
Some roots definitely are deeper rooted than others.
How do I act once I pull that weed and I can't hide under this anymore? Like it's a whole thing, but
Like, comment, subscribe, hashtag Redeemers,
and we're charging y'all by the hour for these sessions.
People that already jumped in my DM and had conversations. We done had group sessions with everybody on the Patreon, but I welcome it. Sometimes it's cool talking to strangers too who you don't know. Those people tend to give the best advice and everything too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know when they jump in the DM on the Patreon, they don't always get access to all of us. But I think we gave out our IGs at one point.
That's why I said, like, if they want to have conversations with y'all on IG, or
feel free.
They feel comfortable having conversations in the comments and stuff, because some people don't care.
Some people don't care.
The Discord is.
I still haven't. We'll get sign up for the Discord.
Well, I'll get the link from because I told you we had set one up in
was it Lala?
Kenya,
Kenya?
And all them. They're on there now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. We got a Discord.
Yeah, but the biggest takeaway and the biggest message I probably got for all our redeemers is love yourself. Shit, it's on their album, Love Yourself.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, this is so love yourself.
That makes so much sense. That's almost
full circle.
Almost on the nose. And it's just, just like I said, love yourself. Try to be as positive as possible. Take everything a day at a time and stop running, my friend. We love y'all. We're going to holler at y'all. Boy,
one day at a time. Love y'all.